Welcome to Unprofessional Therapy. No degrees, just decades. I am Michael, and this is
Brad. Yeah, that's me.
you. You weren't sure for a second. How sad is that?
Very, very so sad.
So we've got two topics, kind of picking up where we left off. I guess the idea here is you should be able to enjoy any of these episodes as standalones, but there seems to be a current traveling through here too. So you might want to go back and follow that thread or not. But what was it you wanted to talk about today?
Well, we talk about this a few times. We've known each other for about 20 minutes or 30, 50 years, somewhere in between there. And I first met you when you would come to my neighbor's house for Bible study. Now, I'm going to flat out tell everybody I'm not religious. So don't, if religion turns you on or turns you off, I'm not religious. Michael, on the other hand, had a different upbringing. This is kind of what I want to talk to you about.
And I am not religious either, but we'll get
exactly. But you came up a little bit different. I had a way I wanted to ask you this. And what was it like being born into a religion that did you ever really feel comfortable with it? And if you didn't, how was that? What did you tell me your story?
Wow. It's vague and nebulous, and we're dancing around coming right out and saying it.
Right.
But here's the thing, and I'll tell you why, and then we'll get to exactly what's going on there. I am careful, or have been careful in the past, about not talking about what religion I was associated with, because there are so many misconceptions about it, one, and two, because I should not be a reflection on that.
Right.
I don't want to take any responsibility for anything regarding that. I'm not a good example.
You didn't have a choice. You were told this is what we believe in.
Right. But I didn't. I don't want to show as a reflection in any way on what it's like to be a Jehovah's Witness.
Religion.
It could be any religion, but specifically, it was Jehovah's Witness.
Right.
I bite my tongue even saying that, but not because there's anything wrong with it. I have some very specific opinions on religion, but maybe we'll go there, maybe we won't. You asked me what it was like growing up in that.
Right.
There are many.
And you tell me, didn't you kind of know something was off or not? I mean, did it feel perfect with you, or did you feel uncomfortable with it? That's as a child. Or was it just, it's life?
It was so much of my opinion was actually shaped by other people or by watching other people's responses to it.
Okay.
Nothing necessarily felt off about it. But some things, and wow, I didn't think this was going to be an education on this, but it's going that direction, and that's okay. Jehovah's Witnesses do not celebrate birthdays. They do not celebrate holidays. There are some specific and unique interpretations that they have in the scriptures. Wow, if I was more prepared for this, I would have like a whole list of where the religion came from.
Keep it brief.
But just generally, yes. Okay, so that immediately set me aside in school and in dealing with other people, because I was not allowed to go to people's birthdays. I was not allowed.
I remember this specifically.
Exchange, yes, I was not allowed to exchange presents with people. And wow, what a way to isolate somebody. And so it's been interesting for me, and it's taken, gosh, if I'm absolutely honest, it's probably taken 40 years for me to understand why I was treated the way I was in school, because people were uncomfortable and didn't know how to interact with me. You know what I mean? There was a wall and an isolation there that I felt from other people that was because they didn't know what was okay or what wasn't to say or what to do or what was
And
okay.
I was one of those people.
See, I never got that from you. I never felt that from
Really?
you. But we
I guess I hit
talked.
it well.
Maybe it's like, oh, that weird guy's coming over again. It's Wednesday. What are you gonna do? No,
It was
I don't know.
Tuesday. It was Tuesdays.
Was it Tuesday? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. You
Hey.
remember far more about that than I do.
I don't know why. Go ahead.
I don't know. But yeah, so it made things interesting. And it wasn't until I started some self-reflecting and self-examination, and then turned that outward, where I started to realize, like, I can't be mad at people for this stuff or whatever, or hold things against them,
Mhm.
because yeah, how do you handle somebody that is told from an early age that anybody that's not you, and this is where we get into behavior that sounds cultish, but
Yes.
anybody that's not you is, they didn't believe you were going to hell, but they didn't believe that you would live on, or that you would
Ascend.
be associated with. No, there's no
Right.
ascension.
Oh,
Or
okay.
rather, see, there's another thing. That's another thing. They don't believe that people are going to heaven or hell afterwards. They just believe there's nothing. You wink out of existence and are forgotten by God, or a select few, and the number is 144,000, and that's mentioned in the scriptures, that would ascend and go to heaven and help rule and make decisions there.
Okay.
And the reason they were going from earth to heaven is because we need advocates on our side. For those people that are left behind that live in a paradise on earth, there needs to be people in heaven that have had the earthly experience to be able to be fair in dealing with people.
Okay.
So yeah, so not everybody's going to ascend. People would come back though and live on a paradise like earth.
Okay. That's interesting. You taught me a little bit more about the religion than I would have known, and I don't really do that. I mean, with me, I grew up completely different.
Okay.
My mom she wasn't religious. She didn't say I couldn't be. She didn't stop me. I did go to a couple different churches with some different people. I've experienced a few things, and I just chose that it's not for me.
I'm
I don't
laughing.
look bad on other people. It's just not for me.
Okay. I am laughing because I remember a very specific instance with you in a park where you went to a Bible camp or something, and you wanted me to go there to meet some people, and I totally ditched out on you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm literally remembering this
remember that.
Literally remembering this right as you mentioned that. Oh my gosh. I was
That's funny.
so
By the way, I think I went twice.
There was two things there. First of all, I was being introduced to another religion, which I shouldn't be.
That's against the rules.
That's one. And two, I was super freaking shy, and there was a really cute girl that was there that you were. So I was totally embarrassed, and I remember hiding behind the cars in the hospital park. Anyhow, sorry, I'm going down a wrong road, but anyhow, crazy. So yeah, you did experiment with a religion a little bit, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I did that, and I remember who you were talking about. And I went to one of their services, their church services. That was the last time I was in church for a long time, because it was a kind of church I would never want to be. So it's not like it was an evil church. It was just overboard, and I guess is the word I would call it.
Okay.
And again, if people belong to those kinds of churches, great, fantastic. It's not for me. I'm not that type of person. I'm not the type of person who's flamboyant, who's outspoken. I'm not that. I'm the quiet guy sometimes.
Depending on the subject, for sure.
Unless I'm around friends, around the people I know, and then I'm a little more boisterous. Yeah, so it's interesting. Now I'm going to bring this into the next topic, because I think we've talked enough about religion. This is going to be the most we talk about religion in any of our stuff. last video, you talked about how being in Jehovah's Witness helped you learn better and helped you in your education. And
Helped
that
or
that
hindered.
makes me really curious on how that worked.
It both helped and hindered. And
Okay.
this is the biggest thing that I have struggled with over over my lifetime, my entire lifetime, actually. My wife and I talk about this often, and she tells me it's not too late. Go back to school. If you don't
Mhm.
like what happened, then go learn more.
Try again.
More than that, but I mean that's the
Mhm.
paraphrasing it.
Right, right, right.
And so that's the thing. The thing is, from a very early age, I was told just this blanket statement that God would provide, and you don't
Mhm.
need to be educated, you don't need to go to school. Um, and again, I don't want to stray too close to cult material, but if you want to keep control of anybody, don't educate them. Don't. And I found it ironic that I was being told that I didn't need to go to college and so on, by people with college degrees and people that had gone to college themselves.
Hmm.
So yeah, there's a little bit of a paradox there, isn't there? Anyhow,
Mhm. We
getting
won't go
back
down
to
that.
it. So in many ways that hampered my education a lot. Or um, let's be honest, I don't need much to take away motivation because I'm incredibly lazy. So so if you tell me anyhow that hey, somebody's just going to take care of this for you, and
Oh, okay.
you don't need any more than that, then I'm not going to do any more than that.
Yeah. You're
Um,
legally, you have to go to school, but you don't have to learn anything.
that's exactly right. Now, the paradox there is the fact that I am 180 degrees from that. I am voracious in my pursuit of knowledge. I want to know so much
Mhm.
about everything, about every subject. And my problem within the education system was they didn't want to teach me what I wanted to learn when I wanted to learn it. And that was a problem.
Right.
Um,
Which is
you
what we're
may,
going to get into in a second.
Yeah, you may remember some of our teachers.
Some of
We
our
were
teachers
lucky
was my
enough.
mom.
You with that exactly, but I was thinking of Mrs. Neff and
Oh
Mrs.
yeah.
Tierney. I think
Yeah.
I want
I
to say it was
remember
Miss
them too.
Tierney, who was maybe in fifth grade, but
We
saw
should probably not
how.
mention names.
Oh yeah, we probably shouldn't. Anyhow,
Our fourth
uh,
grade and our fifth grade teachers.
yeah, don't narrow it down even further. Um, but at that point, I want to say it was third or fourth grade. Here's irony for you. I was very much interested in political sciences and such, and so she went out of her way to get. Yeah, I know what the heck was I thinking, but she went out of her way to get me books on the United Nations and stuff like that, to encourage and further my
Right.
education or reading. Um, the irony, of course, being that Jehovah's Witnesses do not participate in any political things because that's worldly things and has
Mhm.
nothing to do with the kingdom of God.
Mhm.
Therefore, you shouldn't be interested
Don't
in them.
bother. Yeah.
Don't bother. Yeah. So I'm caught between a rock and a hard place. What do I do?
Mhm. Mhm. You do what you want. No, and you're right. The younger, as when we were younger, those teachers were very supportive.
Yeah.
Except I believe no, our fifth grade teacher hated me. Not the one that you mentioned, but I think you know who I'm talking about.
I think I do.
She hated me. Oh my god. And I think she had reason because I was not a class clown, but I was definitely kind of a jerk. Um,
What do you mean, kind of? Just commit.
I kind of leave it open for interpretation. But no, and that now I'm going to start to sound like the old man yelling at clouds because kids these days, and it's not the kids, it's the
Get
schools.
off my lawn.
It's
Yeah.
not, I don't think, I think the kids are they're too distracted by phones. This is again, old man yelling at clouds. Nothing new here. And it's the parents allowing them to be, it's everything. We're talking, being Gen Xers, we talk about, we didn't have any of that stuff. We had our imagination. We had latchkey kids. I wasn't really a latchkey kid because my mom was a teacher and she got done about, half an hour after I got done. So sometimes she had her after, like, going bowling and stuff like that. But a lot of the people had the latchkey kid thing, and where they were self-sufficient. It was like, you go home and you
make yourself something to eat, and
get something to eat, make a sandwich, make cereal, whatever, watch TV, the 3 channels that were available. And we had our imagination to keep us busy, and you have a lot of that. You can see plenty of videos about that. The kids today don't have that. They don't have they have the helicopter parents.
Yeah.
My mom told me when I rode my bike, I had to stay within my neighborhood, and she defined exactly where the neighborhood was because she knew my brain. Us living in a small town, I got told on a lot. So to give people out there an idea, here's my neighborhood. Somebody saw me riding my bike over here. And I heard
a neighborhood, but yes, not your neighborhood.
It was a neighborhood. Yeah, it was a neighborhood. And I think that was my argument. And I believe my mom almost cut my head off. No, she wasn't a violent person. It was a reasonable relationship. But I got in a lot of trouble. But anyway, so the kid, that would never happen. When you were a kid, I believe, and I think I even wrote out to where you lived, and that's way the hell out of my neighborhood. I mean, just like miles.
It was 7 miles. It was 7 miles out of town. It was in
and I lived in town.
Woods. Yeah, it was in the woods.
I would visit a mutual friend.
Yeah,
and you weren't far from his house.
Well, I was about 1,000. I was at the end of the road, and then beyond another 1,000. It was 1,000 yards back from that.
Oh, yeah, you were way back there.
Way back in the woods.
But I would ride my bike to his house.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's a long-ass ride, let me tell you what.
That is a long ride.
And I would ride it back in the same day. So, but the helicopter parents, oh, my God, that would, people are like, oh, you did what? And, hey, guess what? I didn't even have a helmet on. So, today's schools, and this roll it back to education. Today's schools don't teach what they taught us. They don't. You remember the math questions that we all hated, the story problems?
Yes,
those Susan left New York at 55 miles an hour on a train, and Jenna left L.A. at 22 miles an hour. That's long. That's slow. And when do they meet? And it's 4,000 miles between. It's 3,000 miles between the two. When do they cross paths? It wasn't about the math. It was about problem solving.
Yes.
And we all hated it. Absolutely hated it. So since we hated it, and a lot of our generation became teachers, that disappeared.
Yeah. Well, and then we have
that's and
I'm choosing my words carefully because the school systems. Oof, I'm not a fan.
Well, they weren't perfect back in our day because even back in our day, they were still the structure of a school system, whether what they were teaching or not was right. This is how you go into a place for 8 hours a day, do your work, and then you go home and do some more work. Homework.
Yeah.
What does that sound like?
It sounds like
training
a horrible,
you for a
horrible
job.
That's it, for sure.
Training you for how to be in a job.
What?
And that's the video. I want you to put a link to this in this description of the one I sent you.
Okay.
You can watch it too. He talks about that, and he talks about how it trained him. Getting a star as a kindergartner. You get a star. It's like just like getting your annual review and a raise, or a raise would be nice in my book. I haven't had one in over a year, but anyway, and that was a minute one.
Wow. So here's the irony really quick is the fact that I found that I was actively kept in the education system actively kept away from computers because I was not considered intelligent enough to use them. I mean, they didn't say I was stupid, but I mean, the computer
That's a
systems
nice
that
way
we
to say
had,
it, though.
the computer systems that we had were reserved for only the elite kids in class. And I find it ironic since I spent over a decade then later working on computers and stuff in photo labs
Mm-hmm.
and so on, and have made my living to this day, and not making a living doing it, but just selling, and just how far I've come
You're
as a
very
content
proficient.
creator.
Yeah, you're proficient with computers.
I've
You're more
learned, yeah,
proficient than a general user.
yeah, yeah, for
And
sure.
trust me, I know because I have to deal with them.
You have to deal with general on yeah, on the daily for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
And no,
So,
I have a fun story about my mom. So when my mom was 60, and keep in mind, I was in my 20s, we were in our 20s, 30 maybe.
maybe.
So it's been a while. My mom wanted me to help her, and I helped my mom with whatever she needed computer wise. And she was a 30-minute drive away. She's like, I need help putting this new CD-ROM, to give you an idea, into my computer, because CD-ROMs were new at the time, and I knew how to do it. It's not a big deal. And I'm like, okay, I'll get out to it. I'll come this weekend. It was like about a few days. My mom put it in herself
Nice.
properly.
Nice.
She installed it. And so when people say, well, I'm too old to learn that, it's like, my mom was 60 years old when she installed a CD-ROM into a computer of a device. Think about it. That device was not created most of her life. She figured it out.
Yeah. Nice. Nice.
RTFM is what I think she did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that's back when you had to pull a jumper to say this is the secondary drive.
Right. Right.
And she pulled the jumper and did it right. And she said it works. I'm like, okay, cool. Congratulations.
Nice.
I was very proud of her. Always have been. So back to education. They don't teach problem solving. They allow phones, which some don't, but kids get them in anyway. Kids, younger generation are too.
Where's your
They don't know how to
cane?
live without a phone. They don't know how to live without a phone. It's like take their phone away, and they're like, they literally. It's like, and you and me, it's like, take my phone away.
Exactly.
I mean,
Give me
turn
some
my
peace.
phone. Yeah, exactly. I turn my phone off. Now my wife is younger than me, a little bit younger than me, and she's on her phone a lot, and I give her a lot of garbage about it. And she is able to easily walk away. She'll leave her phone in the house while she goes out in the yard and does all of her thing. And I'm trying to call her, because I'm out doing my thing. And I'm like, I need to know, do you need anything? It's nothing critical.
Right.
But she doesn't answer. And that's a common thing with her. And that's fine. I'm good with that. But her daughter and her son, well, it's like you take their phone away. And again, they're not spoiled brats. They're not like me. But, take their phone away. They're always on it.
They would have a hard time without it. Yeah. It's like air. Yeah. Well, I think the funniest thing that occurs to me is how many times were you told, you specifically and me generally, told that you need to solve that longhand because what's the chance you're going to have a computer with? What's the chance you're going to have a calculator? You're not going to have a calculator with you. Yeah.
Exactly. Not only do we have a calculator with us, we have the entire world knowledge base in our pocket.
Exactly.
And I do use it.
Yes.
Should I mention the statistics that we were talking about just before we recorded?
Absolutely, because I think they're fascinating. If you've seen Idiocracy, you know the shortcut to what's going on, but let's hear it.
Yeah, so I did a Google. I didn't do AI, Gemini did answer this for me. What's the average literacy level of the U.S.? Approximately 79% of adults are considered literate, not me. About 21% or 43 million adults possess low English literacy skills. According to 2024-2025 data, roughly 54% of adults have a literacy below 6th grade level. And while the average American reads at a 7th to 8th grade level, the U.S. ranks 36th in global literacy, with 12% adults reaching high proficiency.
Wow.
And I'm definitely not that 12%, but I'm definitely not 6th grade level.
Definitely not 6th grade level. Yeah.
No.
Well,
And even now, let's even bring this back to you. You've mentioned this before in other videos. You're dyslexic, but that
yes.
doesn't mean you're illiterate.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
And it doesn't give you an
luckily,
excuse to say you are, for people who do, in my opinion, because talk about you.
well, so I almost feel like, because I'm definitely looking at our time and stuff too.
Yeah, I know. Make
I
it quick.
feel like dyslexia is something that's worth talking about on a separate topic, but
Right.
briefly covering it. I was undiagnosed as being dyslexic and unable to talk. Dyslexic until I was 30 something. And I'm still not officially diagnosed because, I'm out of school, so it doesn't matter anymore. Arguably, it doesn't matter. Realistically, though, luckily, it's never stopped me from reading. It's never stopped me from trying to read. We'll get into the specifics of word blindness and things like that, but another time. But luckily, and while I may not read proficiently, I've always had a thirst for knowledge. Going back to where we started, we talked about before. I have always wanted to know things. I wanted to know them when I wanted to know them. And if you try to teach me later on and stuff, I'm not interested.
I'm that way.
But the fact is that since then, and like you said, it's never too late. I do feel like reading is a lost art. I can't. When's the last time you cracked a book?
Oh, I don't. Well, I actually know. I did read a self-help book.
Okay.
But it wasn't paper. But it wasn't paper. It was an ebook.
Okay. Still, even if you're reading it, that is, it's definitely worth doing, whether it be online or, in my case, my shortcut, my hack was to do audiobooks, books on tape, get unabridged copies of things. It's not the same as reading. It'd be better off if I was reading. But in the case of myself working in a photo lab, I was in the dark a lot, quite literally, sitting in a dark room. And so I could not read, but I could absolutely consume while working any number of things beyond whatever topic that they are. A good example would be somebody like Ray Bradbury, whose advice to everyone was to read a poem before you go to bed or an essay and do it on every night, do something different, another topic, another thing, and just increase your breadth of knowledge on any number of topics. And the good example that I have, or that I've used before, or maybe I've talked about it with you, is Max Maven, who, when somebody asked him how to be a better magician, he told him to read. And when the person questioned him and pushed them further, like what to read, should I be reading this or that or whatever, he said, it doesn't matter. Just read anything. And you'll find that you can increase your knowledge, increase your satisfaction, increase everything by just getting an education on whatever topic takes your fancy. And then maybe read things that are the antithesis of what you would normally read, just so you can understand other people's point
different
of view.
Little side.
Yeah.
Kind of like the same idea of traveling to different countries and outside of your comfort zone.
Yes.
You know anybody who's done that?
No, I can't really think of anybody off the top. We talked about me going across country, which was one thing, but you got me beat. You brought that up and stuff as being admirable. The fact that I did this, I am absolute awe of what you did, and maybe we need to talk about that at some other point later on, because I
can record another video right after this one. I know you probably can't.
I probably can't, but I am going to bring it to a close and say, hopefully, I'm not sure we covered any topics anybody else could use, but
I don't
maybe
know. We kind of babbled on this one, didn't we?
We kind of did. Hopefully you got something out of it, though. If you have any questions, we're open to any questions. We may not answer them.
Now, This one with the religion, we're not going to talk about it again. So if you want to talk religion in one of our other videos, it's not going to happen. I'm saying that to the people who want to comment. Okay, because this is not a religious channel.
Yeah, exactly. This is not what we're not
making commentary on religion. We're not making commentary on politics.
No.
This was the only one.
This was the only one as far as that goes.
So if you want to see that kind of stuff, go somewhere else. If you don't, stick around and watch
Stick around.
And give us ideas of things to talk about. Indeed.
And if you want to talk about education, though, we're happy to talk about education.
Yes.
Where to go, what to get, what to do. And I think the best education
we still have more stuff. We could talk about self-help because I read the book, The Big Leap, and I wanted to talk about this last video and I totally spaced out.
We will mark that down as a topic to get back to because I think so would you recommend that be a book to read or no?
It can be for the right person. I mean, it's helping me.
Okay. All right. Well,
I'm going to do the big summary.
Yeah.
It gives you another way to frame things that everybody else frames it different ways. It's just how you need to see this concept to be framed.
Right.
And it worked for me.
Yeah. And I think that's really what self-help comes down to. And it comes back to everything that we've talked about so far.
In the other video
is how do you frame things to either get your point across to somebody else or to help somebody else. You've got to do it from a standpoint that makes sense to them. Yeah, for sure.
But we're trying to close out this video.
We are trying to close out the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Remember, this is unprofessional therapy. That's no degrees, just decades.
Yes, many of them. Take care.
All right. Thanks for watching.